Are you ready to cancel hustle culture? I am. Sign me up. I have 5 key strategies to help you reclaim your life and get off the hustle culture treadmill. I don't know about you, but it almost killed me, and I'm not going back. So let me point these out and see if anything resonates with you. I do know this. I asked last week what you thought hustle culture was, and your answers were astounding. You're feeling it just like I'm feeling it. The pressure, the buildup, the suffering, the losing of oneself, that you're ready to do it too. I want to take a minute to thank the sponsor. I have been a follower and appreciator of Danielle Laporte for a long time. And when she asked for partners to help launch her new heart-centered planner, I was all about it. I was looking for a tool that could take the work that I do, the life that I live, and to put those together in one place in an embodied planner. This planner is amazing. It has weekly and quarterly check-ins for your mind, body, and spirit. It is a place where we will ditch the hustle and become fully loved, whole people. I have been a planner user since, oh my gosh, 1994, when I first started with a Franklin Covey planner, I think. And I've gone up and down in how I use them. And for this year, for 2025, I'm so excited to use this new tool provided by Danielle Laporte and her team. And I want to integrate my life so it's not just work and life, that it's my whole self. And I'm excited to share that with you. And next year I will share how I'm working in it in these videos. And I wanted to offer to you a discount code so that you could purchase your own planner and be on this journey yourself. It is beautiful. It is heart-centered. And it is the thing that I think will make 2025 possibly the best year yet. So thanks to Danielle Laporte and her team, and I hope that you plan for a beautiful, heart-centered 2025. We have to reclaim time for rest and reflection. It isn't enough for us to live our lives where we are doing. We need to take time to rest and to reflect on what we have done, both the good and the not so good. If we're not building in practices in our life that allow for actual rest, which means turning off notifications, turning off your phone, having actual weekends, whatever days those are for you, having time with people and not looking at your phone or being notified every minute. If we're not doing that and we're not building in ways to have reflection, so reflection practices can be meditation, walking, writing in a journal, doodling even. Those moments of reflection will help guide you forward. We cut that out in hustle culture because we don't think it's important, but how do you ever learn anything from what you did? So building in time for both rest, true rest, and reflection is one way to get off the hustle culture treadmill. This one is hard for people who are steeped in the capitalist culture, but I believe we need to prioritize meaning over metrics. What do I mean by that? How did it feel? What did it mean to people? What values did you bring? It isn't so much about clicks and stats. We are measuring everything. I measure everything on my watch. I know how many steps I take. I know how I sleep. I know how this channel does, or any kind of social media that I'm doing. We are drowning in data, but we're not taking the time to see if does it match our core values? Is that work meaningful to us and the people that we're reaching? I think we need to get off the metrics cycle, because that is just numbers, and that's what computers do well, but people are meant to process meaning. So taking a moment to think about the last big thing you did. It could be a party you gave. It could be a big project. It can be that you are the PTA mom and you're in the classroom, whatever it was. Instead of thinking about the metrics of that, I arrived on time, I did this, I did that, we served this, we did that. How did it feel? How did it feel? And what's the story that you're telling yourself about what you did? That's what I'm talking about. That gets you out of hustle culture. It slows it down to human scale. I think we have to recognize the impact of burnout. So eventually, I will share my burnout story. I tried to record that 3 times before I did this video, and I just don't think I'm ready yet. There's still a lot to unpack there. But let's just say 5 years ago, I was really unhappy, and I didn't know why. I was doing great work. I was moving ahead professionally. I seemed to have a lot of things working for me, but that didn't seem to matter because I was just so tired. And I'll tell you that story eventually, but here's what I know. Burnout's real, and people are suffering it all the time. And I think that we have ratcheted up our amounts of burnout because we are always accessible. We have these supercomputers of phones with us at all times, and you can connect with us at any given time. And because that's happening, you never have time for rest and reflection. And so you're always going, you're always on. And that's not the way we're built. And so really taking serious the signs of burnout could save your life, honestly. Could save your life. The 4th strategy is to redefine success. I think that we have a tendency to think we're only successful if the project or the thing we're doing works out to the level that we think it should. That isn't where true success is. True success is in embodying the process of doing whatever you're doing. But because we have an outcome-based society who only looks at, did you win? Did you get on the list? Did you get the award? Because of that, we're missing out on this whole idea that the process is where the joy is. So if you want to take a giant slash to hustle culture, you will refocus your success on the process. The 5th strategy is to practice mindful consumption and boundaries. 2 of my favorite things. Mindful consumption is probably one of those places that's the hardest. We are inundated with things to buy. And I know that I too am sharing things like that with you. But one strategy you can use is the wait a day strategy. So even if you see something, you're lit up in your brain and it says you must have that thing, you can put it in a cart, you can write it down, but wait a day. And that'll help you get off of the consumption train. Also, think about shopping your own house. So I'm in a big decluttering moment right now, and I am moving things from room to room. I am deciding that some things need to be in different places or could be used differently. And that is just as exciting as going to Target and buying the latest organizational tool or basket or box or file folder. So if you need help with this, the wait a day is really helpful. And then the boundaries is about what are you putting into yourself? That's how I see this. So I've created a boundary as to what I consume. And I'm not talking about just things. I'm talking about media, people, events. I have boundaries around that. And if I only prioritize my importance based on being busy, I will say yes to a lot of things. But when I start to prioritize my own values and my own needs, I'm less apt to say yes to something just to make it look like I'm busy. And so both of those together can help you get away from hustle culture. So I've shared 5 strategies to ditch hustle culture. And what I'd like to know from you is, where are you struggling? How do you want to get off this machine? How do you stay focused and motivated and have a growth mindset while not being sucked into this idea that we should be hustling and always grasping for things? I am so interested in this conversation, and your words help refine how I think about it and how I can share about it. So get in the comments and tell me what you think, because I think this is a conversation we need to be having.